So welcome to another episode of our podcast, and today I have the pleasure to welcome my colleague Stephane over here. Stephane, would you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Ralph, and it's a pleasure to be here, I have to say. As Ralph mentioned, my name is Stephane, and I'm part of the go-to-market team here at NTT, and I am a cybersecurity consultant.
Perfect. So as you can see, the topic for today is cybersecurity and AI, or maybe it's AI and cybersecurity. We don't really know. Let's see. My name is Ralph. I'm happy to host you over here. And let's get started. Maybe as a first question, Stephane, let's start with cybersecurity for AI, not the other way around. So
Sure.
What do you see? I mean, we're working now since a year about together, I guess.
Yeah, it's about a year. That's right. Yep.
So what's the uptake so far? What have you learned about cybersecurity for AI? What are the key things and trends?
Very good question. I'll try and make it short, yet we'll try and have a comprehensive overview of what we mean here. The topic of AI is fast evolving, obviously, but one thing that's for sure and that has remained the same is AI is not a single control. It's an ecosystem around which we need to have a life cycle approach. So with this comprehensive approach, the way we engage and work with the customers is we guide them across the various layers, the management layers of a solution that will compose an entire AI product. Okay. So with this product approach and with other frameworks, there's great guidance out there. So we can leverage information, guidance that's also evolving, and the approach that we use, just as with any framework really, is we tailor our approach and we blend controls and frameworks. And whilst there are technological questions and risks, which we'll delve into just in 1 second, we also always need to look at the people and the governance that form this management layer around the AI solution. And so as with governance frameworks, we need to understand who's doing what, the roles and responsibilities. But also there's a big topic that is sometimes not necessarily misunderstood, but perhaps not completely well grasped, and that is the ethical aspects of an AI solution. Mm-hmm. So with that, the base really, the golden rule around the use of AI is, and I'm sure you'll agree with me here, is data. Data is your base.
Data is the beginning.
Well, it's exactly. Without good data and the good work that the teams do around curating and checking that data, obviously this input here will be fundamental to the success of an AI project and the solution that supports it. Then with that, of course, the security around the models that are employed. So there are practices that we integrate into the introduction and the integration of a model. So you've got your data, you've got the model, you've got the machine learning and the models there as well that get tailored, developed, customized in some cases. It's really important to understand the use cases. So as you can see, it's as much a business conversation as it is a security component that, if done well, contributes to the overall solution.
So what's the difference when for cybersecurity, the difference between protecting a regular application or hardware or environment and protecting AI? Because we're talking about a different kind of animal over here.
That's right. So, but same thing, the AI solution will rely on an infrastructure. The infrastructure will have talking components, mm-hmm. and we must look at all the information flows. So the security patterns, the security controls that we think of is around those potential threats. And these evolve and these can change from an AI solution to another. Mm-hmm. So it's really supporting the team with understanding those threats and applying the security controls on the infrastructure. So that's all the communication components. Okay. You've got your pipelines as well, that need to be scrutinized. So we hear a lot of new concepts that are particular to AI around the injection attacks or the poisoning of the context, the influence that could be put on those models and slightly changing those outcomes and outputs. So with that in mind, it's very important to make sure that we trace and understand the provenance of the information, where it is starting from, and the end goal and the outputs. And of course, finally, we also need to check the outputs of the solution at the very end. So as you can see, it's an ecosystem, and step by step, we review those information flows, and it's not so much about technical control A or B or C. It's really as much as understanding the threats and how we want to mitigate those as proactively as we can. And that's why we do multiple iterations. That's why the AI guys and the machine learning engineers do multiple iterations. The same goes with security, where we assess and check and obviously test those controls. So security, as many other controls, participates in that whole ecosystem.
Okay, cool. I mean, what I've seen so far is that people say, well, yes, we need to take a holistic approach. That's one thing. Infrastructure, of course, that's butter and bread business, but then you also need to protect your input.
Yes.
Somebody not asking or being allowed to ask the wrong questions, so to say.
That's
and
right.
Also the output, you also want to do that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great. Question number 2, because we have been talking now about cybersecurity for AI.
Yes.
But, and there's also, you can flip it around. And as one of your colleagues said, the bad guys are using AI to break into your systems. So not using AI in cybersecurity would be like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about AI in cybersecurity, because this is more, let's say, your home turf. So
Yep.
What do you see as exciting things happening over there?
Yeah, no, for sure. So there's always a debate around as well, who's going to do the job, and is AI going to replace the humans, in their roles?
Discussion.
The usual discussion. For the security or the defenders, for the security professionals, the approach is not so much that. It's really the multiplier effect, as we call it, because AI is really there to support the teams. You really can leverage AI tools to do what? To be faster, to catch up with trends, the threats that evolve these days. The life cycle of a typical vulnerability or a threat scenario has really accelerated. AI, the effect of AI, you were talking about the bad guys, it's really condensed down the time it may take to perform a reconnaissance of an asset or an environment to breaking into it and, for example, exfiltrating data. Well, the same applies to defenders. You see, there's both a symmetric approach whereby the AI the security professionals protecting AI and other workloads have the same advantage, you see. They can also leverage the tools to speed up the investigations, to correlate information, to respond to incident faster. And you know what? The other exciting thing is the detection as well has been multiplied. So we can really also accelerate the time it takes us to see something, to triage something, to determine the potential impact or severity and shut it down very quickly. So what's exciting with the industry here, and it's trending very well, I think, and whilst there's a lot of pressure on defenders to protect assets in an organization, they also have tools they can leverage. And there's an asymmetric as well approach to it. Why? Because depending on how persistent or how motivated the bad guys are, they tend to be quite creative and innovative. And they use AI to do that too, to try and trip us up, so to speak. And so there's that effect and reaction and arms race and rat race and all those expressions that we hear about out there.
So maybe, because we just want to keep it also short as a podcast.
Sure.
What's just like maybe 2-3 sentences, what's the next big exciting thing for you? And I guess it's more in AI and cybersecurity than the other way around.
Yeah, and I see AI and security controls and improvements merging with time. I don't have a time frame in mind, but certainly those capabilities have evolved. They will evolve even faster. Trends will come up and they will be exploited, or they'll be developed and growing. And I believe the defenders we'll be in that reactive position, unfortunately. But what's exciting is I truly think those tools are the answer. And unfortunately, for those who are maybe not so sure or not convinced, the risk for them is that they may fall behind a little bit. There's a curve. See, there's a race, and that race is not slowing down, obviously. And those tools, I would recommend, should be looked at, leveraged, invested in, developed, and further enhanced. There's a lot of enhancements from the security community, the vendors. There's a lot of collaboration. Threat intelligence is as good as it's ever been, and I can see those things getting better and better as well in defense of our organizations and clients in general.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just for the records, we have this on tape. We'll do the interview another time next year, see how your predictions came true. Thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.